Hello everyone, welcome to Voxcel. In this video, we're gonna discuss book 19th, third test, section 1. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So this is our passage or text you can say. So if you have watched my previous videos, you should know our ritual, how we start. First, we will see what the title of the passage. But in this, we don't see any title of the passage. What we see is there are four paragraphs, and each paragraph has their its own, like you can say, title, like Purple Rainbow, The Truth, Home Fires, The Jeffersons, Space Challenge 5. So from this, we can't deduce any context. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go straight to the questions and see what kind of questions we have to deal with. So for this, for section 1 we have questions 1 to 14, but for this particular text we have questions 1 to 8. Okay, so in GT, as you should know, the first section is usually divided into sometimes in three sections, and each section or each text has its own set of questions. So for this particular test, our question sets is from 1 to 8, and for 9 to 14 we will have another text. So let's see questions 1 to 8. So look at the 5 film reviews A to E. Okay, so these are not four, okay, 5 uplands. So these are the 5 reviews from A to E for which film review or for the following statements are true. So we have to tell which of the statements are true for which review. So this is very important. We have 8 questions, but we have only 5 options. So obviously we will use one letter more than once. So there is no other way around it. So we have to use one letter more than once. Okay, so more than one letter more than once, because we have 8 questions but only 5 options. So if you use one option for one question, that's 5 questions, 3 questions are remaining. So maybe 3 letters will repeat, maybe 2 letters in which one will repeat 3 times. So it can be anything. Okay, so what we're gonna do is how to solve this or how to like approach these kind of questions. First, we will read these 8 questions, try to understand the information given in these questions, and then we will read paragraph one by one. First question: the reviewer thinks some of the cast are unsuitable for their roles. So the question is saying that whoever the reviewer is, he or she thinks that some of the cast. So some of the cast just mean members of the film, crew members, obviously members of the crew, like actors or maybe singers, whatever the cast of the film are, they are unsuitable for their roles. So obviously actors, so they are not suitable for their roles. So in whichever paragraph it is said that these like members of the movie or these people in the movie were not suitable for their roles or didn't justify their roles, something like that, that will be our answer. Second, the dialogue in this film seems unrealistic. So if the dialogues are unrealistic, we'll mark that option as our answer. Third, the reviewer found this film unexpectedly emotional. So the reviewer is saying that this film is unexpectedly emotional. So what does unexpectedly means? Like he or she was not expecting it, like surprisingly, or they didn't expect this to happen. It was something else. All right, their expectations were something else, but in actuality or in reality, sorry, the film was emotional. Fourth, the film contains dialogue that is uninteresting for some viewers. So here they say that the film contains dialogue that may be or that are uninteresting for some viewers. So you have to be very careful with the second question. They are saying that the dialogue in this film seems unrealistic. So basically the dialogue doesn't like match the film or match the genre, something like that, or they are way off the mark, or they are like boosting too much. Okay, but in the fourth they are saying that the dialogues may be uninteresting to some viewers, for some viewers basically. So uninteresting means those viewers may not find those dialogues interesting. Okay, they may get bored by listening to those dialogues. Maybe there is a lot of conversation, and some viewers who obviously that long conversations are not for everyone, not everybody's cup of tea. So they may, those conversation may not be interesting for some viewers, but it's not like unrealistic or anything. Fifth, this film carries a moral message. So in whichever paragraph it is written that this film has moral message, ethical message, like teach some sort of teaching, so that is our answer. Sixth, non-actors take part in this film. Okay, so non-actors, what does non-actors mean? Okay, non-actors basically those people who are not actors by profession. So they are just doing it as a fun activity. Maybe they won some competition, that's why they are taking part in this film. Or they are those people, basically in simple terms, they are those people who are not professionals, they are amateurs. Okay, non-actors. Seventh, the reviewer thinks this film should be seen again. Okay, seen again, maybe rewatch. So for seen again, rewatch. Okay, that kind of vocabulary may be used. Eighth, this film mentions things that audience members won't know about. Okay, so the movie it mentions those things that audience won't know about. Basically, some sort of science fiction movie, like telling them about facts or things that audience members they may not or they will not know about. So some kind of unexpected thing. Okay, so that's the similar thing, like do not get confused with third. Here they are saying unexpectedly emotional. Here they are telling about unexpected things, like they don't, you know, don't know about, you do not expect in the film because you are not aware of those things. So that's like almost same thing as unexpected, but you have to be very careful about the differences in the options. I hope options are clear. Now we're going to read the A paragraph and see which questions are our answer. A paragraph. Purple Rainbow, the truth. Having actors playing popular rock band Purple Rainbow seemed like a bad idea, but in fact they are impressive musicians themselves. So they are saying that people who are playing in this movie like playing role in this movie are actors. So it seemed like a bad idea because they are making movie on a rock band called Purple Rainbow, but they are impressive musicians themselves. But those actors that are playing in the role in the movie, they are musicians themselves. Their fans in the film were actual fans of the group and transferred their enthusiasm to the actors very convincingly. So they are saying that the fans in the film, they were actual fans of the group, like they were not someone who were pretending to be fans. They were actual fans of the group, and they transferred their enthusiasm to the actors very convincingly, so their enthusiasm rubbed off. Okay, I assumed there would be plenty of music linked by weak dialogue, but I was wrong. So, what happened was the reviewer, he or she assumed that there would be plenty of music, obviously because it is on the rock band called Purple Rainbow. So obviously if the movie is on rock band, so you expect plenty of music, and he thought that it would be linked by weak dialogue, but that person was wrong. And the support the band members gave to lead singer Jerry Cosgrove when tragedy entered his life had me close to tears. So the support in the movie that the members gave to this particular person when the tragedy entered his life had that reviewer close to tears, giving me new appreciation of the band, and it gave him new perspective of the band. Okay, so now for every paragraph you will have around 10 to 15 seconds, because there may be like more than one answer in each paragraph, or in this particular paragraph, or any paragraph for that matter. So you have around 10 to 15 seconds to tell me if there like which question or questions are answered to this paragraph. And if you need more time, you can pause the video obviously, and when you are ready with your answers, you can continue. So your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now let's go through the questions together. First question: the reviewer thinks some of the cast are unsuitable for their roles. So, is there any mention of that some cast were not like good, were not good in their roles? No. Many of students may get confused from this, like having the actors seemed like a bad idea, but the reviewer is saying that they are impressive musicians themselves. So he or she thought it was a bad idea, but in fact, because they were musicians themselves, it was not a bad idea at all. So this is the exact opposite, in fact. The dialogue in this film seems unrealistic. Is there any mention of unrealistic dialogues, or dialogues that were not like you can say compatible with the movie? No, nothing like that. Third, the reviewer found this film unexpectedly emotional. Is this our answer? Yes, in fact, it is. Let me write here first. A option. This is our answer. Where it is written? Yes, here. So here the reviewer was saying I was wrong. First, the reviewer is saying this, and then he or she is saying that this tragedy entered his life had me close to tears. Close to tears just mean emotional. So you are almost crying, like so you are like so you were about to cry. So obviously it was emotional unexpectedly, because he thought it would be like this, but he was wrong. So whatever his or her expectations were, they were wrong. Okay, it was something else. Okay, so there could be more than one answer. So let's read other questions as well. The film contains dialogue that is uninteresting for some viewers. Is there any mention of uninteresting dialogues? Nope. The film carries a moral message. Was there any moral message or teaching in this movie? Nope. There is only mention about like so band members supported this lead singer Jerry, but it doesn't mention it taught us something. Non-actors take part in this film. Is this can this be our answer? Yes, it is. A option. Where it is? Here. Their fans in the film were actual fans of the group. Let me write the location here first. Question 6. The fans the fans were the actual fans of the group. So actual fans, basically they were real fans, like they were not actors, they were normal people, non-actors. I hope it is clear, makes sense. Seventh, the reviewer thinks this film should be seen again. Is there mention of rewatching it or watching it again? Nope. Eighth, the film mentions things that audience members won't know about. No mention of this either. So we have these two answers. So what I'm going to do is, let me remove these so that when you will review this, okay, let me leave it like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to read the B paragraph. Home fires. I expected a standard, rather dull story about domestic life, like the director's last two films. Instead, so here instead just means whatever the reviewer expected, it was not the same. So here is just something about expectations. So I see some students may get confused. Those who match words will not be able to escape this trap, because they will say expected, expected. So they will match these words and write B. No, do not match words, match the information. Instead, home fires had me on the edge of my seat with excitement. So this film was excited. Okay, that's this film like instigated excitement, not emotion. It's certainly worth a second viewing. So the writer is saying that it should be viewed a second time. Having said that, although it is apparently a film intended for all ages, many children would find the long discussions of relationship issues boring, and they contributed little or nothing to the film. So although the film is exciting, so but the examiner is saying, so sorry, the reviewer is saying that though it is intended for all ages, many children would find the discussion, long relationship discussion, boring, because obviously children, they want action, they want excitement in the movies. They do not like to hear long discussions about relationships. Okay, and on top of that, these contributed little or nothing to the film. Basically, if they were not present in the movie, it would not have affected movie like a lot. So again, you have about 10 to 15 seconds to tell me if there is any answer or answers in this paragraph, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now, let's read the questions together. Let's go through this together. Question 1. The reviewers or think some of the cast aren't suitable. No mention of this. The dialogue in this film seems unrealistic. Is there any mention of this? Nope. Fourth, the film contains dialogue that is uninteresting for some viewers. Is there any mention of this? Yes, there is. This is our answer. Where it is written? Here. Many children. So some viewers, they have categorized some viewers or paraphrased some viewers as many children. So this is question number 4. So they have paraphrased some viewers as so many children, uninteresting, boring. Okay, dialogue, relationship, long discussions of relationship. I hope it is clear. Let's read the other questions. The film carries a moral message. Nope. Sixth, we have completed. Seventh, the reviewer thinks this film should be seen again. Yes, this should be abundantly clear to you. Where it is written? Here. It's certainly worth a second viewing. This is question number 7. Let's see eighth. The film mentions things the audience won't know about. Nope, there is no mention of this. So there are two answers in this also. Let's read the C paragraph now. One of the most popular films of the past half century is Mary and Tom, and a remake of it seems unnecessary. So the reviewer is saying that one of the most popular of the past half century, basically last 50 years, is Mary and Tom, and the remake seems unnecessary. So there was no need to remake it. So do not confuse the remake as seeing again. So many students will say remake, the re basically means repeat, see again, repeat. No, you should be very careful. Or it's not rewatch, it's remake. It's like making again, not watching again. Okay, moving forward. Nevertheless, the Jefferson has some delightful elements. So, although, okay, however, this particular movie has some delightful elements, particularly the acting of Jon Richards. So, if I'm mispronouncing the name, I'm extremely sorry about that. She really brought the character she played to life. But sadly, neither she nor the other actors could make the script sound natural. Although her acting was impeccable, like she brought the character to life, but the script because although it doesn't matter how good she or other actors were, they couldn't make this script sound natural. So again, you have about 10 to 15 seconds for this to tell me if there is any answer or answers in this, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. So let's go through the questions together. First, reviewer thinks some cast unsuitable. Nope, it's the opposite. She was like excellent in her character, so this cannot be our answer. Second, the dialogue in this film seems unrealistic. Yes, this is our answer. C, where it is written, the last sentence. Question 2. So, couldn't make the script sound natural. So, sound natural just means the dialogues were not realistic. It were like unnatural, unrealistic. Okay, let's go through the other questions as well. We have done this. The film carries a moral message. Is there anything about moral message? Nope. We have done this. Eighth, uh, something audience won't know about. Was there any mention of that something was unexpected? Nope, there was no mention of this either. So only one answer is in this paragraph. Okay, now we will read D paragraph. This film makes an important ethical point about treating other people with respect. So we have read the options too many times. So obviously we can deduce from this particular thing that this is one of our answers. I will give you some time for this later on. Okay, but that is likely to be missed by many teenagers, the target audience, as it assumes familiarity with the world that it was 20 years ago. So the writer is paragraph is saying that this film carries some ethical point about treating people with respect, but it would be missed by many teenagers. And who are they? They are the target audience. Why it would be missed? Because it assumes familiarity with the world as it was 20 years ago. Because it was like assuming that teenagers would know how the world was 20 years ago. With change happening so fast these days, many of the references will leave them confused. And because the change is happening so fast these days, many of the references will leave the teenagers confused, like they will not know what's happening. Okay, so again, you have 10 to 15 seconds, and let me do this. Your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now we'll go through the questions together. First, the reviewer thinks some of the cast are unsuitable. Nope, there is no mention of this. We have done this. This film carries a moral message. Yes. So this answer was quite evident. Where it is written in the first sentence, half sentence itself. Let me write the question here first. Question 5. So here, ethical moral message. What's the message? People treat people with respect. So that's the moral message given in this movie. Let's see. This film mentions things that audience members won't know about. Yes, this is also our answer. D. Where it is written here, many of the references will leave them confused, and also it is saying that it assumes. So because the world is changing so fast, they will not know many of the references that are used in the movie. I hope it is clear. So how many questions are left? One. Okay, only one question is left. So obviously we know it should be in this particular paragraph because we are 100% sure that we haven't read this in other. But we will read it so that we are 100% confirm we can do this in the like, if in the exam this thing happens and you're 100% sure that you have read it correctly and you're 100% sure all about all the other options, you can mark it as E and move on. But for this particular video we will read together. Uplands could have been a delightful film. It has a charming story, witty dialogue, and is visually breathtaking. But the two lead actors are at their best in thrillers, not films like this one. James Patrick, who plays the hero, fails to gain the sympathy of the audience, who should be moved by the ups and downs in his life. I believe it's quite clear. So you have some time to tell me the location. Obviously, answer is E, but you have some time to tell me the location of this, and your 10 seconds start now. Okay, time's up. So this I will tell you the location now. So this is the location. Let me write the question number here where it was. Question 1. Okay, so here they are saying that lead actors they are best in thrillers, but not in movies like this. So they were unsuitable for their roles. So then the reviewer explained why, because James, who played the hero, failed to gain the sympathy of the audience because the audience should have been moved by the ups and downs in his life, but the audience didn't like were not moved basically. Okay, I hope it is clear. So moving on to the second paragraph for this particular section. These are our questions for this. Okay, this is our second text for our questions 9 to 14. Okay, let me change the color for this one. 9 to 14. So here it is 9 to 14. So let's see sports events in New Zealand. So this paragraph or this text is about sports events that like are held in New Zealand. So we know about this. Let's look at the question. So look at the four advertisements for sports events A to D. So this paragraph has four advertisements, four paragraphs A, B, C, and D. Okay. And for which event are the following statements true? So this is again paragraph contains information. So we will read the questions first and then we will read the paragraph like we did for the first text. So we have to write the correct letter, and obviously we may use one letter more than once. So the number of questions are 6. There are 6 questions, and how many paragraphs are there? 4. So obviously we have to use one para or two paragraphs more than once, because if we use one paragraph for each question we will only be able to solve 4 questions. So we will have to repeat at least like 2 paragraphs. Maybe one paragraph is of 3, one paragraph will have 3 answers, or maybe there are 2 paragraphs that have 2 answers. So let's read the questions and understand the options. Oh, sorry, questions, and then we will read the paragraphs. You see spectacular scenery. Ninth. So in whichever sports events or whatever paragraph there is mention of spectacular sceneries. Scenery basically means views. So basically they may be talking about natural sceneries or man-made views, whatever views, but they are spectacular. Spectacular means amazing. Okay, so if there is, in whichever paragraph there is mention of amazing views or amazing sceneries, we will write that paragraph as our answer. 10th, you are provided with special clothing. So you are given special clothing. So special clothing basically it can be paraphrased as some kind of like jackets, or they can give you names of some special clothing like jackets, guards. Sports events they can talk about some special gear for particular event like track suits or something like that. You may be watched while you are doing the activity. So there may be some one, or there may be some audience who will be watching you while you are doing some activity, or there may be one person or more than one person watching you doing some activity. 12th, you watch someone else before doing the activity yourself. So here, in 11th question someone is watching you, but in 12th question you are watching someone before you do this activity yourself. Like for example, you are trying to do jumping. Okay, so you will watch someone else jump first, then you will do that particular activity. Okay, but in 11th question someone is watching you doing that particular activity. So you should note the difference, minute difference in these two, that changes the entire context of the question. 13th, you meet people who are expert at activity. So here you are meeting people who are expert at some activity. 12th, you are watching them before doing your activity yourself, but in 13th you are just meeting people who are experts, like during dinners or after an event you are meeting people. Okay, but in 12th you are watching them do that activity before doing it yourself. Okay, so you should not get confused in these options. The 14th, you can raise money for a charity. So here you are doing something good, you are doing some charitable work. Okay, let's read a paragraph now together. McLean's Island Run. This unique running and cycling event winds its way through the Canterbury countryside and finishes in Orana Park, where your spectators will include lions, tigers, gorillas, and giraffes. So, this event is unique running and cycling event. This goes through this particular countryside, starts from this, okay, goes through this, and finishes in this. Here your spectators will include these lions, tigers, gorillas, and giraffes. Whether you are a first timer or a seasoned professional, there's a distance to suit you. Choose from the short, the sprint, or the standard distance. You can race to help other people too. If you get some friends or workmates to take part, you will be in the chance to win $25,000 to put towards a good cause of your choice. So you can, like, where it is, you can race to help other people, those in need. So what you can do is, if you have some friends or workmates who are willing to take part with you, okay, you can win a chance to this to put $25,000 towards a good cause, whatever of your choice. Okay, so now again you have 10 to 15 seconds to tell me if there is an answer or answers in this paragraph, or whether there is no answer in this. So your time starts now. Okay, time's up. If you need more time to look at the questions and figure out the answers, you can pause the video and you can resume when you are ready with your answers. I'm gonna tell the answers now. So let's go through the questions together. You see spectacular scenery. Is there any mention of views? Nope. You are provided with special clothing. Is there any mention of like you will be given some kind of clothes? Nope. You may be watched while you are doing an activity. So you doing, are, is there any mention of someone watching you doing some activity? Yes, in fact there is. This is our answer. Where it is written? Here. So you spectators, who are your, what does the word spectator mean? Spectator means someone watching, like someone who is watching you will be your spectator. Though these are animals, but they are your spectators, meaning to say they are watching you, like lions, tigers, gorillas, and giraffes. So obviously if you slip, your story is over. So that's on the lighter note. Basically they are your spectators, they are cheering you, yeah, let's go. Okay, let's read the other questions as well. Maybe there is one or two more answers, or maybe not. You watch someone else before doing activity? Nope. We are not watching anybody. You meet people who are expert at any activity? Are we meeting someone? Nope. You can raise money for charity. Are we raising money for some charity? Yes. We are. I think it's also quite evident from here. If you are doing something for a good cause, obviously you are doing it for a charity. This is question number 14. So chance to put win 25,000 to put towards a good cause. So good cause just means charity, and obviously help other people raise. Obviously it's also about charity. Hope it is clear. Moving to the second paragraph B. The Pioneer. The Pioneer is an awe inspiring 7-day mountain bike race through New Zealand's pristine Southern Alps. It's the first race of its kind to link together over 500 kilometers of farm tracks, cycle trails, double track, and single track riding in a very special part of the world where soaring mountain peaks, crystal clear lakes, and high country await. If you're looking for a mountain bike race to get you inspired, this is it. So now they're talking about this particular race, and it's uh, let me do this. It's 7-day mountain bike race, and it goes through pristine Southern Alps of New Zealand. Okay, so it's race that links to farm track, cycle, double, single track. Okay, and it goes through this. So now you have some time to tell me the answer, and the time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's go through the questions together. You see spectacular scenery. Can this be our answer? Yes. In fact, it is. That's B. Where it is written about spectacular scenery? Here. Mountain peaks, crystal clear lakes, and high country. Just 1 second, guys. Question 9. So these are our natural sceneries we are talking about. Okay, they are like mountain peaks to look at, crystal clear lakes, and high country. Okay, so again there is talk about pristine Southern Alps, and they are talking about these kind of things. So this is spectacular scenery. Let's see if some other, if there is like more than this. If there is any other answer. 10th, you are provided with special clothing. Nothing about that. 11th, we have done. 12th, you watch someone else before doing the activity yourself. Is there any mention of this? Nope. You meet people who are expert at activity. No, there is no mention of that either. So now we will read the C paragraph. If you have ever wanted to experience the extreme thrill of driving a 6000cc race car, then this is definitely for you. So now if you want to do this particular activity, this is for you. You start off your race drive experience by meeting the skilled team of racing drivers at Motorsport Park Raceway before being fully kitted out with one of our race suits and safety helmet. Then you are strapped into the passenger seat of one of our racing cars and taken on a demo drive, covering race lines, braking points, and race driving tricks. Finally, you take the driver's seat and can undertake your own high speed laps of the circuit. So they are saying that if you want to experience or if you want to drive 6000cc race car, then this particular event is for you. So here you will start off your race drive experience. Basically this particular name, race drive experience, is this particular activity's name. This particular experience by like how by meeting skilled race drivers at this particular event before being fully kitted out with one of our race suits and safety helmet. Then they will give you their race suits and safety helmet, and then you will be strapped into the passenger seat of our racing car and taken on a demo drive. So then you will be taken on a demo drive. Okay, you will be given some demo. Okay, that will cover the racing line, braking points, and race driving tricks, in which you will be shown these things. Let me do this. In which you will be shown these things, and then you can like finally take the driver's seat and you can go to like you can do your own high speed laps. So I hope it is clear. So now you have some time to tell me the answer. If there is one or more than one answer in this, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's read the questions together. 10th, you are provided with special clothing. Is there any mention of any special clothing that is given to you? Yes, there is. Where it is written? Here, one of our, okay, one of our race suits, helmets, and things like that. So that's part of your special gear clothing. This is question number 10. Okay, let me do this fully kitted from here. So you will be fully kitted with. So basically, given being fully kitted with. So you will be given this clothing. Okay, let's see if there is more answers here. You watch someone else before doing the activity yourself. Is this our answer? Yes, this is also given here. See where it is written here. Question 12. Here, you are strapped into the passenger seat and you will be given a taken on a demo drive covering these. So you will be watching someone doing this activity. Okay, before doing it yourself, then you're doing this. So let me do this. So before doing this activity yourself, so that finally you will take the driver's seat and undertake your own high speed lap. So you will be doing it yourself. Clear? Let's see 13th. You meet people who are expert at the activity. Is there any mention of this? Yes, in fact there is. Let me mark the answer first. Where it is? Here. You start off your by meeting skilled people at this particular place. So if you are meeting skilled race drivers, okay, racing drivers, obviously you are meeting experts. What I have done here. Let me, okay, here. I don't know what's happening. Question number 13. So here it is written, you will be meeting skilled team of racing drivers. So expert at the activity, racing experts. You will be meeting racing experts. I hope it is clear. So that just means the paragraph there is no answer. So we are 100% sure we have read all correctly, but we will go through D together for this particular video. Otherwise in the exam, if you are 100% sure that whatever you have read you are 100% sure about your answers, you don't need to waste your time on deep this particular paragraph. But for this video we will read it together so that we can confirm we have read it correctly. The Banks Peninsula Walking Festival offers guided walks all over Banks Peninsula. The guides, all volunteers, are local people who love to share their passion for this special place with those from the wider community. Participants are guaranteed an enjoyable experience as they relax, get to know new people, and absorb the stories and the atmosphere of this fantastic land. So here, what people you are meeting, they are volunteers, not experts. Obviously this cannot be our answer. So in this there is nothing mentioned about spectacular scenery. So they are saying that atmosphere of this fantastic land, but they have not mentioned any particular scenery aspect in this. Special clothing, there is no mention of that. Doing activity, so nothing. So they are basically guided walk. So there is no mention of watching somebody walk before walking yourself. Obviously it will not make any sense. So D, we don't have any answer in this. So sometimes even this thing can happen. You may have some paragraph in which there is no answer. So do not get worried, like do not get confused, like why this paragraph is entirely free, it doesn't have any answer, maybe I have read something wrong. If you are 100% sure, you should not worry about things like that. So this is the end of this particular video. Just on the ending note, if you are struggling with your IELTS writing and or speaking, if you're not able to get your desired band scores, that is band 7 or more, even after multiple attempts, and you don't know the reason, and if you can't figure out, you can't put your finger on it, what's the thing you're doing wrong, you can enroll in our video course, in which we have thoroughly discussed about all the 4 parameters that are given by IELTS official websites. So what you need to do to achieve a band 7 in writing and or speaking on all the 4 parameters. Like if you talk about writing, if task 2, in your task response, C and C, grammar range and accuracy, and grammatical range and accuracy, and your lexical resource, that's vocabulary. So if you are not sure what you are in which particular aspect you are lagging, you can watch those videos and you will be able to understand. We have discussed every type of task 2 essay, even every type of task 1 for both GT and academic, and for speaking as well. We have discussed thoroughly all the 4 parameters and all the 3 parts, how you can expand those answers. In all the 3 parts, we have taught you our tried and tested structure for task 1 and task 2 for both academic and GT, and all 3 parts of speaking as well. So if you want to like watch those videos, those will be very helpful for you. Okay, you will be able to understand where you are lacking. And if you want our writing correction service, or you want to book your one-to-one speaking slot, so that you can understand where you are lacking, you want your writing to be assessed on all the 4 parameters, and want to understand how many bands you are likely to get in your IELTS exam, so you can book your writing correction service or your one-to-one speaking slot with us. You can go to the website that will be linked in this video or on our page or in the description box. You can get there, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.